I know, boo. All right, fine, boo. All right, hey. It's take two. Welcome to your Empire Records emotional support. I'm JJ. That's Warren. Damn the man. Save the Empire. I have no idea what happened before. We had a whole other show. It died. I don't know. We gave up.
We're throwing that show out the window. Today's a fun show now. There really wasn't a lot to talk about politically, though.
No. There's nothing. There's nothing. It was a weekend, so whatever. So, dude, let's talk about Empire Records, because today is Rex Manning Day.
This will be our biggest show because we're talking about a 30-year-old movie, a 25-plus-year-old movie, and this is going to be our biggest show.
You know, I looked it up. It came out in October 1995. Rex Manning Day is important, not because it's an anniversary of the movie. It's an anniversary of an event in the movie, which is Rex Manning Day.
Rex Manning Day. It happened on April the 8th, 1995, I guess, 94, 95.
And for those of you who haven't seen Empire Records, first of all, shame on you. It's the best movie of 1995.
There is a lot
that's
of
arguable.
My kids that are in their teens, middle teens to get to late teens, there's a lot of movies that they're discovering like Empire Records that they're like, this is a great movie. This is a great movie. I didn't know this existed, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, if you like that, then let me give you, Singles and check out, more that I can tell you.
Oh, yeah.
But Empire Records was a movie about I've said this in our last one, but I'll say it again. If you don't know what we're talking about, Empire Records was a movie about a small town record store that was getting bought up by the big box record stores, which was happening.
Right.
It was a mirror
at the time,
of
it was
what was happening at the time.
This is before Virgin Records was even like a mega store, and even that collapsed, right?
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Yeah, Virgin did. Disc jockey, remember disc jockey in the 90s? Disc jockey music, that was a big one. Camelot music was another big one.
Camelot, I remember Camelot.
Yeah, Camelot music, disc jockey, and then they went to the Virgin ones, and there was another big one that I can't remember. But they were buying up all the mom and pop record stores. If you go to a big town, you would have, a couple of the big box record stores, and especially in the mall. You went to the mall, you went to the record store in the mall. You spent an hour in the record store in the mall. That was one of the places. Our mall had a disc jockey and a Camelot, and we would go from one end to the other. That's what we did. And the little mom and pop record stores are just disappeared. There's one that just opened up in our town, in our little hometown. The dude's got a little record store. So anyway, the movie was about this group of employees trying to save this little record store with all the hijinks and stuff that happened during the day, which happened to be the day of Rex Manning Day. This washed up freaking 70s.
What is a modern analog of Rex Manning?
It would be if Ricky Martin tried to come back.
Oh my God! If Ricky Martin Day.
If Ricky Martin wasn't as popular as he was, I guess Rex Manning was about as popular as. So if Ricky Martin tried to come back alive today, there's a record store would have Ricky Martin Day.
Yeah.
Or what was the other guy? There's another one at the time. There was another one at the time that I can't think of. It would probably be more like him. I can't think of his name. Enrique Iglesias. It would be like Enrique Iglesias Day.
Oh, yeah?
I think Enrique Iglesias was better than Ricky Martin, though.
Yeah.
So it's funny. Yeah, it's a great movie.
You can see him right down here. He's got like, what is this? Is this like a pompadour type haircut or whatever? He looks like he was dressed in like the flowing like white collar, like lacy shirt, super feminine.
It's like the evolution of a leisure suit circa 1982.
Yeah.
Imagine a leisure suit, but a leisure suit from 1982 instead of 1975.
Like fake silk, fake satin, stuff like that. Yeah.
Now back in the day during
and he was a super creep too. He was like he was hitting on like Tyler. 45 and he was hitting on like a 17-year-old girl. And the thing is, like the kids,
he ended up having sex with Renee Zellweger. Remember?
Right.
Renee Zellweger went into the freaking little room with him. because he
Yeah.
hit on Liv Tyler and she didn't want to have anything to do with him. And then yeah, I
He's
remember
like,
that.
well,
And then Robin Tunney
whatever.
is in that movie, and Robin Tunney really
Yeah.
shaved her head in that movie for that movie.
Did she really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she really shaved her head.
So I was looking this up on the IMDb earlier. I'm gonna pull it up. Let's see. Where's the share button? I'm gonna pull this up. Because I learned something about
I can't
Empire
believe we had
Records
a
this
show
morning.
about Empire Records.
Yeah, it's just entirely about Empire Records. Okay, so the cast of this movie let me tell you, at the time and for decades, I was just like, I viewed the cast as like
major stars,
not major stars, but also like peers, like they were about as old as I was. And, I mean, I was about that age. And so I really viewed him as peers. And now I'm scrolling through the IMDb and I'm like, oh my God, all these people aged really, really badly. Or, like none of these people are like triple A stars now. They're all B plus or, maybe network TV stars and stuff. Maybe Renee Zellweger, you could say, is a big star. But even Liv Tyler, she had she had some like big moments or whatever. But, like when's the last time you seen Liv Tyler?
Listen, if you say any negative thing about Liv Tyler, I will get on an airplane and fly to your house. That is how strongly I feel about Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler hooked me in Armageddon, and so I'm never gonna it's probably this. I probably liked her in Armageddon because of this movie. But in Anthony LaPaglia. Like, where have you seen Anthony LaPaglia?
Oh, he's a big, he was like a crime TV guy. He was in those crime TV shows and stuff. He was a good actor.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Without a trace.
You freaking, you didn't like him, but you loved him.
Yeah.
You know? But now thinking back on it as his character and not the kids. As his character, because that's what I love about watching these movies I watched as a kid, is because I watched them from a different perspective, and now I can go back and watch the movie and know exactly what's going to happen, but it gives me a completely brand new perspective because I'm watching it from the adult's point of view. And watching it from his point of view, he was a freaking divorced, living in the freaking he had his drums, he wanted to play his drums. That's how he got out his freaking stress and his anger of the crappy day of this crappy record store, dealing with all these freaking kids running around doing all this bullshit, and he's got some washed up guy coming in, and plus and his freaking kid that he left he can barely keep the lights on, and the kid that he left in charge squandered gambled all of his freaking money. I can completely cope with him now.
Hold on, so I know we kind of explained it. So it takes place 24 hours in the store. A major like big box stores are eating up the business. This place, they ain't generating enough revenue. And Lucas, who is Rory Cochrane's character, he steals the Knight's deposit, and he's like, we can't, because he's going through he's closing up for Joe Reeves. He's closing up the shop, and I guess he goes through the mail and he sees like a foreclosure notice or something like that.
Foreclosure and how much it is, and he thinks, I can gamble and get this money.
Yeah.
And he loses, and
he kind of like believes that it has to succeed because the Empire Records has to survive. Yeah. So he's like, we'll damn the man, save the Empire. Damn the man being like the major record label store. I'm going to take the Knight's deposit, run over to Atlantic City, put it all on black, and save the Empire. And this is in the first like 3 minutes of the movie. All that money's gone, and without it, Joe can't make rent. I can't make salary.
He was saving to try to buy it too. He was saving to try to buy it.
Because he loved, like, you're right. He didn't have like much else going on in his life, but he did love music and he loved the store. And you know what? As a I don't care about money, but there's things that I love that I'd be like, I don't care about the finances of it. I really want something. For instance, doing this show.
Yeah, because a minute ago I was pacing around and I thought to myself, I'm just going to join the Discord and have JJ join.
Let's just talk.
Just so
we figured it out. Hey, by the way, if you guys are not like, if the show collapses again, like Deke and I will just give up and we'll just go to Discord and we'll just talk on Discord. So we're there all day. So join if you're hanging out. There's a couple people here. Okay. So Rory blows the money, and they have less than 24 hours to save the Empire. So and it's Rex Manning Day, so there's going to be a bunch of people kind of show up at the store. Hijinks happen.
All these older women that stand in line for Rex Manning, and he doesn't want to be there.
No.
Rex Manning doesn't want to be in this washed up record store. He still thinks he's a big star.
The modern equivalent of this is a has-been TV show star going to Comic-Con, and charging $20 for an autograph and a photo.
20? You think it's 20?
I don't know how much it is.
That's hilarious. You may be paying $20 for the best. I was the key grip on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. No, your chart it's anywhere from 60 to 120.
Yeah,
get your picture made. You don't get an autograph, you get your picture made with them.
Yeah.
I did not ask how much Kendra spent for. I know how much Deacon spent for. It was his money. He saved up to meet the voice of SpongeBob. What's his name? Kenny Arnold. I don't remember his name right off the top of my head.
Okay, so it's up to the kids of Empire Records to figure out how to come up with cash to replace the Knight's deposit, and so that Joe can save Empire Records. So that's the whole premise of the movie.
Tom Kenny.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so what I was talking about before was like how these kind of actors have like aged, and maybe you haven't looked. Okay, so you may remember Jane, played by Debbie Mazar.
Debbie, she's been in a lot of stuff. She's a good actress, but I can't imagine she's aged well because she had a very unique look back in the day.
Yeah,
because of her look and her eyebrows and her pointed face, and her dark hair. She was always the bad guy. She was always the bad girl. Was
she the one? She
always had the attitude.
Witches.
She was in all kinds.
What was
of stuff.
that?
She's been in all kinds. I don't know,
of stuff. But you know what? She's like 5 years younger than my mom. So like,
was she in? That's what I was going to say. I think she was in Twin. Was she in Twin Peaks? I don't think she was in Twin Peaks.
She's not known for Twin Peaks if she was ever in it. So
then
she's
not in it.
So let's see. So she played Jane. Robin Tooney.
Jane was Rex Manning's assistant that came in with him.
Robin Tooney played I forgot her name. Robin Tooney was the one in The Craft playing Sarah Bailey. And
she was the main
I honestly think that she's really like her look has really changed from the days of The Craft up to now. And she spent several years doing a TV show. Whatever this TV show is, she, and later in her career, she's done a lot of that. So, yeah.
What about,
let's see, who else is in it? Renee Zellweger, obviously, she's actually, done pretty well. Ethan Embry, his name is real familiar.
Ethan Embry's done pretty good. He was the hit lead in Can't Hardly Wait. He played Rusty. He was Rusty in Vegas Vacation. He was the gay guy in Sweet Home Alabama, her friend.
Oh, really?
I don't remember him and Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
I've seen he's the one. So, I mean,
but if you've never seen Can't Hardly Wait, if you love Empire Records, you need to watch
I have never seen Can't Hardly Wait. What is that? Is that a rom-com thing?
Can't Hardly Wait is a movie in the 90s about these kids that are graduating high school and they're all leaving their friends because they're going off to college. So they have one final party, and it focuses on him, who's just kind of a mid of the road guy, and he's got this crush on this girl, and he's wanting to ask this girl before he goes off to college. And he's friends with the smart kids and the nerds and the jocks and all the stoners and the guys trying to act like they're gangsters. It's a great movie. It's a great, if you're a 90s kid, that's a movie that you've got to watch. So yeah, I mean, Liv Tyler, I don't think what else has Liv Tyler done?
I mean, I know she was in one of the Hulk movies, and let's see what IMDb says she's famous for.
Here lately, I mean,
Armageddon. Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings. She played Aaron. Yeah,
Erwin.
Let's see. Let's see what she's. I mean, the known for the fourth movie she's known for is Strangers. I've never even seen that.
What's that one that says upcoming?
Oh, okay. Captain America: Brave New World. Oh, she's playing Betty Ross again. So she's reprising her role from the Hulk. Well, did she play? I think she played Betty Ross in the Incredible Hulk movie, the one with Ed Norton. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they replaced the Hulk, but they kept the Betty Ross. So let's see. Is there anybody else that kind of shook out of this movie that was like?
Well, I can't remember, but I'm trying to look through the names there as you go down. What was those ones on the very bottom?
Like, Pat. I mean, I don't remember. Okay. No, but there's Rory Cochrane. Rory Cochrane played Lucas, whose character, he was very distinct kind of like kid in the movie.
He was one of the lead characters. I thought he was the main character.
Yeah, pretty much.
One of the main characters.
No, I wouldn't say antagonist, but he's the one that caused the problem. Yeah. Let's see. He's in Black Mass. He's gone on to have like.
Well, I've seen him in a couple of things over.
I'm looking through his list to see if I see any movies that I recognize that I would have seen him in. It looks like he did some TV work. Oh, he was in A Scanner Darkly. Yeah. It's hard to really recognize him with that beard on. They got any other photos? Maybe see what he kind of looks like lately. Whoa, dude.
He still looks the same.
Dude, look at this, man. Dude, in my mind, he is a 17-year-old kid. And that right there is a guy that's like contemplating closing the garage door while the car's running.
See, you just explained the same thing that I say in music, where someone asked me one time if I wanted to go see Willie Nelson in concert, and I said no, and they said, why not? And I said, because I don't want to be disappointed. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, because I listen, all the songs that you hear that you love were recorded a long ass time ago professionally in the studio. It's like Willie Nelson at the time was in his like late 80s. I was like, he's not going to sing the song. I was like, you notice it says Willie Nelson and Friends, because 90% of it is Friends, because he can't sing that stuff. It's like, I personally don't want to do that. If you do, that's cool. Hey, go back.
Listen here.
Go back. One more.
Is this him? Because that's amazing if he's doing that. I'm kidding.
No. That guy, that native, is Floyd Red Crow Westerman.
Okay.
He is a Dakota Sioux. He was a political activist, but he was an actor. He was a singer, songwriter, and I just played his whole album on one of my little programs that I do at the top of one of the hours. I do this covered dish program where I do cover songs every day. And he does a tribute to Johnny Cash album that I just did last week. I talked all about him. He's got a great voice. He's passed away, but he's been in everything. If you look up his IMDb, Floyd Westerman, Red Crow Westerman, if you look up his IMDb, man, you'll be like, holy crap. Because that's what I said on the air 2 or 3 times. I was like, if you look him up, you'll be like, oh, that was the chief in Dances with Wolves, and he's been in this, and he's been in this, and he's been in TV shows when he was younger.
I think he's going by Wes Studi.
No. Oh, that's who that is. That's not Westerman. That's Wes Studi. Sorry, they look very much alike. That's Wes Studi. He's the other one. Wes Studi. He's a big one. He was in Last of the Mohicans.
Oops. Okay. Well, I just realized that we could do these photos on here. So that makes me want to go back to Debbie Mazar.
What movie was that?
I'm not sure. I want to see the photos from Debbie Mazar because
Wes Studi's got a rock band, dude.
Does he really?
Yeah, he's really freaking good. I don't remember the name of their band. He's a Cherokee too.
That was on. I
have Cherokee.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. What else do we have to say about Empire Records? Like, what do you like?
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie. Do you think there's anything even I don't even know if I was a young person today. Like, I mean, like I was never like super into music, but music was a big deal when I was a kid, you know, all my friends and buying CDs and, you know, all of that. And going to the record store, Camelot, like you said, or I don't know, I went to like Barnes and Nobles has a music section at the time, or, you know, places like that. And we watched MTV all the time. So like, even if I didn't really care about music, we all watched MTV because that was kind of like the cultural touchstone.
And one of the marketing tools that movies had back in the day was to partner up with the music companies that most of the time they were owned by the same people
Sure.
anyway. And you make a soundtrack that can also make you money as well. Those soundtracks sold a lot and made a lot of money for those companies. And they don't really do that for movies anymore. But back in the day, in the 80s and the 90s, that was a big deal, was the soundtracks.
I mean,
that was
you
like
were already paying
the
for all that
Empire
music
Records.
to go be put together for the movie.
Yeah.
So why not repurpose it into a new product? And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and so that was a big deal. It started in the 80s when they started writing these songs for the movies, the 70s and the 80s, and then they figured out that these soundtracks were selling really good if they did them a certain way. People wanted to buy them. And one of my favorite soundtracks that I just listened to a couple of months ago on YouTube was Last of the Mohicans soundtrack, and it's all orchestral music. It's just so freaking moving. But yeah, the soundtracks were a big deal, and the music was a big deal back in the day because we were kids and whatnot. But I was going to say something about that when you were talking about the music.
I mean, I'm just kind of thinking about the. Oh, you got it. You found it. Go chase it down.
Well, it's just that you know, I believe that, you know, let me dumb this down.
Sure.
The music is waves, right?
Okay.
Waves. You know, waves. All right. And we know we are affected by sound waves, human body, right?
Okay.
We know we're affected by those. So take a song from the Empire Records soundtrack, Till I Hear It From You by the Gin Blossoms. Okay. Till I Hear It From You.
Okay.
When you hear that song, it puts you back in. I believe that the sound waves can affect everything, and even like the DNA in your body and stuff, so that when you hear that song, you remember, you instantly, boom, Empire Records, boom, great movie, boom, I love this, boom, good mood and whatnot. And the same for a whole group of people when they hear that same thing. Those waves have affected us, and that music has affected us. So I believe music is a healer. It greatly affects everything in the universe, not music, but sound and waves. And it's so I look at stuff like that. When you hear a song from back in the 90s, if I'm standing there with my son and I hear a song from "You Down with OPP," I'm gonna start nodding my head. Yeah, you know,
Dad,
man,
what does OPP mean? Oh, no, we're not defining that.
Yeah, no, everybody in the room that's in their 40s is going to feel this same.
For sure.
Yeah, it's not that you're just jumping to the music, because everybody can bounce to the music, but you feel a certain way, you get transport.
And this isn't too far from what I'm talking about too, because what I'm saying is when we were kids, we had, and I don't know, maybe kids still watch MTV, but I don't think so. When we were kids, we had MTV. We all watched MTV at least some of the time, right? And because we all had that shared experience, not together, but at the same time in our lives and watching the same thing, we all had something that we could innately kind of like bond and share. And by that, I mean exactly what you're saying. Like we all heard OPP and we all jammed to it. And now when we hear it again, it reactivates those memories that we wrote when we were adolescents and emotionally vulnerable people. And so, yeah, we kind of like reminisce about it, and like, and it becomes a thing that me in my, mid 40s and you in your mid 40s, and even though we weren't friends when we were kids, like we can listen to the same thing and very likely have like, oh yeah, in fact, this movie is one of those things where like, we watch this different, we both love it, and it's something. Okay, so here's my question. And I guess this is what I'm kind of wandering around to this point, because in my mind, the Empire Records store, hold on. Okay. The Empire Records store was a like shop that kids would have gone to and would have shared like these kind of experiences when they were kids. Like, oh, we used to go to the store, we used to go to the store. And the kind of similar thing in my mind is like, oh, comic book store. When I was a kid, we always went to I went to the comic book store a lot. It's kind of a thing that you can bond over. This app is so what, like, okay, so we can imagine, you and I can imagine having been to a similar shop and can put ourselves into that place, into that kind of thing where it was like not counterculture, but it was definitely a subculture, and it was something that, you know, like young people would have some affection for. So what is there even like remotely a modern equivalent? Like, you know what I mean? Like there's not like I mean, I couldn't even name like a current music or anything like that, but there's the places like this don't really exist anymore. You know what I mean?
No.
So how do you make a movie that is culturally important and relevant in the same way when we don't even like what? Oh, I remember I'm going to try to save the Amazon app because I ordered stuff from the Amazon app for all when I was a kid. No, it's not going to be the same.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I can remember. I mean, even to this day, when we go to Nashville or St. Louis or somewhere and we're in a city, I still kind of want to locate the head shops, you know, because the head shops, the hippie stores, we called them head shops, hippie stores. You know, now in certain states, they all sell marijuana, but back then they sold pipes for tobacco use only, and incense and posters and T-shirts.
That is just decoration. This is just a paperweight, officer.
You buy a pipe and they give you a little tobacco, and a little so that you won't get arrested on your way out. But so, I mean, and those stores still exist. And like I said, my little hometown, I just noticed that there was a little record store that popped up that I want to visit to give him some business because this is awesome. But you're right. When we were kids, we would go to Paducah, the big town, and they had 2 CD stores. CD Warehouse and CD Exchange.
Oh,
and
CD
we
Warehouse.
would go to them.
Yes.
We would go to a CD Warehouse, and we all knew if there were 3 or 4, we're going to be in this store for a couple of hours. So don't be hurrying us up. Don't be rushing. We're in here to look at music and listen to music and buy some music and maybe not buy some music.
Right. And they didn't.
It was, but you're. It was a. That's what we did.
It was, yeah. And like in that time, you couldn't, like, if you were going to discover something new, you were going to have to like read the CD box because you weren't going to be able to hear it before you bought it. Like read the front and back of the CD case, all sealed in plastic. You don't have any idea what it is, and take chance. You got to spend like $20 on a CD, and then maybe there'll be something.
Oh, that's what I used to get mad about because the CDs kept going up and up and up and up and up, and the quality went down. But yes, there was in our CD warehouse. Maybe it was CD. It was one of them. They had a couple of CD players and headphones over on the wall, so you could take your CD and go over there and listen to it and whatnot. And you never used the far left one because that son of a bitch skipped. All right, whatever CD you put in there, it skipped, and they never fixed it. So you always waited for the other one to be done. If somebody was over there listening, you held on to your CD. But you're right, you would go in there, and if I was
listen to it,
if I'm looking for Pink Floyd, you know, I love Pink Floyd, and I'm looking down through there, and I see Obscured by Clouds, and oh man, I've never heard of this one before. You know, you go over and you listen to it, you're like, wow, that's kind of cool. But then you go down through and you pick another one, you're like, I really don't like that. So with the used CD stores, I mean, those record stores, you could preview.
Right, yeah.
And then the best thing, let me tell you the best thing. This is the best story. Jowie, our viewer Jowie, Jowie, me and Jowie have known each other for a very, very, very long time. We've been very close friends for a very long time. And he went to, when we were in high school, he went to up north somewhere, Mall of America or somewhere. And then he come back down and he had this CD. And he was like, I was in this record store in this mall, and this was playing over the record store. And he said, I'd never heard it before. And I was just sitting there nodding my head and was like, this is awesome. So he asked one of the employees, who is this? And the dude took him over there and was like, dude, this is a new band out of Omaha. You're really going to dig them. Joey bought the album, brought it back to us. All of us drummers listened to it religiously. It was our CD because nobody knew about this band. We had brought it from somewhere else and brought it in. And then the band started getting big, and then they started getting everywhere. and the popular kids started listening to it, and the band had put out 2 or 3 albums, and we were all kind of pissed because we were like, this was our band. They were unknown at the time. That band was 311.
Oh
That band
yeah.
was
Oh
311.
man. Dude.
We heard 311 up there. Nobody knew who the crap they were in like 91, 92, and brought them CD. The very first CD is called Music. The album's called Music. And he brought it back to us, and we were like, what is this? And we were loving it.
Man.
To this.
I definitely had that CD, Okay, so okay. So I mean, I guess there's not really an answer to like what is the there's not, is there even like
if we can do
you have kids that are teenagers, like you got to know kind of like something that's like similar.
Snap and Instagram. Dude. I mean, it's all social media. My son, I will go in there at night to tell him good night and I love him, and he's laying on his bed with his phone there, and there's his girlfriend, and she's doing stuff, and I mean, they're not doing anything, they're just sitting there together on the phone. And me, as the old school, I'm like, get off the phone, go to bed, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But then I have to stop myself and go, wait a minute. I laid there on the phone with my girlfriends until they fell asleep.
I did the same thing. Yes.
If we would have had video phones, we'd have done the same thing. For sure,
absolutely.
So, I mean, that's just where it's at. It's really in social media and stuff. They don't hang out in places like we did. They hang out on this.
Is it entirely just the advent of like screens, or is part of it, was it kind of kicked over or made worse by the pandemic, and then we never kind of like fixed that?
Both.
Yeah.
I think maybe both. But I mean, when my kids want to go out somewhere and do something, Ashley and I both are like, we're not the no. We want to no. And if it, okay.
Yeah.
Like last night, Alex has been gone. His girlfriend's been gone for spring break. They haven't seen each other in like a week. Okay. And then they were getting home. She was getting home at like 8 something last night. He wanted to do this little special thing and surprise her and be in the house and do all this because he could, they love him over there. So how late? Ashley stayed up till 11 last night to go pick him up at 11 so he could do that. And not many parents would do that,
Right. I was definitely in sleep by 11.
Yeah. See, so, I mean, but nothing, it was a nice gesture, and it was something, so we're very lenient when it comes to letting our kids see their friends.
I see that like from 2 lenses. Like I definitely can like understand like, oh, that's kind of sweet that he wants to surprise her. And at the same time, I try to put myself in the other position. Like, man, if I just got home from some trip at 8 o'clock at night, I hate traveling, and I always want like recovery time. And I wouldn't want to get home from a trip and then have
They're Romeo and Juliet. They're 15 years old. They're in love. Good God Almighty.
I would just be like, I don't want to perform for anybody. Leave me alone.
All right, I don't know what happened to her. There it is.
You want to do a song? There's your song. Song of the day.
What do you think the song of the day is?
Say no more, mon amour.
Ooh, Rexy,
we should just play the song. What's the worst that could happen?
I know. This song today that's over on our Discord server and Deeks playlist is the fake song by Rex Manning that was in the movie. It is terrible.
It's not good.
It's not good.
And honestly, that's kind of like part of the charm of the movie, even.
Yeah.
Was because you had to suspend reality. You had to suspend belief so much for this entirely for this entire thing that you even had to accept like all of these teenagers, these kids are like super excited about, right? Well, not all of them. Some of them were like Rex Manning.
No, they were all that didn't care. Yeah.
But like that it exists in a world where like, oh, this was a big hit. Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm a classic music DJ. There's a lot of times when I'm like, this song would never make it today.
Yeah.
And this was a #1 hit. So there you go. The rest
Oh,
of
you
the
know
songs
what?
this week are actually going to be from the soundtrack, and they're actually going to be real good songs. One of my favorite songs. Remember the Ballad of El Goodo
Is that wait?
by Evan
Are you
Dando?
doing soundtracks or are you doing songs from this soundtrack?
No, songs from this soundtrack,
Hell yeah!
Empire Records
So
soundtrack. 4 more
I know what
songs
Friday's
from
gonna
the
be because
soundtrack.
Friday's probably gonna be like my favorite song.
Yes, yes, Friday is gonna be your favorite song. I listened to it last night because I was like, "Oh, she don't sing in this version. It's just
Yeah.
the Coyote Shivers,
Yeah.
so this is fine."
Dude. Okay. I'm excited for Empire Right.
I was listening to the soundtrack last night, and I was like, "Man, I remember this song, The Ballad of El Goodo, but I do not remember this song." I know Evan Dando. I listened to his stuff back in the day, and, I listened to it, and I was like, "Man, what a freaking great song this is." I listened to it. It was freaking man, so we'll have some good ones this week.
You should have Trump do the first line of today's song. We need to start the video.
I didn't think about
You should
that.
have him do that. It's really good. All right. My God, this is such a great movie.
This was the best show we've ever done.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, like what we had planned. So Dave says we got pre-clipsed. He said it on our Discord chat. I think he didn't know to go back to YouTube. Well, you know, whatever. Yep. Dave, whenever you get around to seeing this, we certainly got pre-clipsed.
It's Rex Manning Day over the eclipse. Dude. So it is the eclipse day. Do you want me to go live? I'm going to be at my house.
I am going to be in my office, but I want to step outside, and I got those glasses. But yeah, let's how can we do that? Should we
can go through the phone. We can do restream through the phone and just go live. All right.
I'll set it up in advance.
Yeah.
And then we can just get in.
We'll just go live from our spots that were there. So and then we can we'll leave it up.
My God. I found these photos. I found these other photos on IMDb that are they just take me back, dude. This is amazing. Okay. All right. Jokes. Let's do a joke. It's not a normal show, but let's do a joke.
All right. I've got some actually.
I wish there was a way to control F and search a book so that I could find a moon related joke.
No, don't get stuck. We were just talking about the record stores and all that.
But to hell with the past. It was so hard to get things done. I don't want to do that anymore. I did that one. Deke, why can't you play hide and seek with mountains? You have any idea?
I don't know.
They're always peeking.
That's a good one.
Not too bad.
I've never heard that one. All right. What did Sushi A?
What do you have?
What did Sushi A?
I can't hear you. Sorry. Start over.
Can you hear me?
I accidentally muted myself. I muted the audio.
Oh, okay. What did Sushi A say to Sushi B?
I don't know. What did they say?
Wasabi.
Yes.
Wasabi.
Oh no, look at this. Dogood says that he's a bit late today. Oh, Dogood.
Yeah. You missed the best show in the world.
We completely collapsed. There's no evidence of our failure. All right, man. So there we go today. Hey, I'll
save the empire.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Yeah. All right, folks. I'm going to turn this thing off. I'm going to play the outro. You hang in there because President Trump has something important for you.
Talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Tune in now to your To That Show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Conspire with us, tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
Rexy, you're so sexy. Damn the man, save the empire.